let's talk Leafs. Tied with the Jets for second overall. Mike Babcock is their head coach. He is joining us on the phone right now. Coach, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. Let's start with last night. I couldn't help to notice the chemistry between Marner and Matthews was extra special last night. Did the Nutcracker have something to play with that?
I actually believe they're going to do it every night before the game. It's going to get them over the top.
Just work on chemistry.
It was they had a riot. I talked to them both the following morning. They had a riot. I think newfound respect for the athletes and how prepared and how professional they were, and they had a lot of fun doing it. And everything about it is we're thinking about hockey, and that's not a bad thing.
Obviously, that's part of 82 games, and there are ups and downs, and there are times where you need a little bit of a break. The last two, though, have been pretty nice, outscoring Jersey and Florida 13-3 after losing 4 of 5. But I'm sure that 4 of 5 skid can provide some teaching moments for a head coach. Besides pucks going in the net, what were the differences that you saw in the last 2 games?
Well, I think the big thing, we just played 7 on the road and 1 at home. It was nice to come home. Lots of travel for us, but I just didn't think we played as good. We didn't play as hard. And the bottom line is for us to be as good as we're capable of being, and I think we got a ton of growth from within yet in this season, we got to play hard on a nightly basis. And the best teams in the league, the teams that win in the end, they figure out a way to bring it every night, and in the end, that's how they have success. So that's part of the growth for a young group. And even though we have good leadership, and we have real good leadership and nice chemistry on our team, we still got a lot of lessons to learn here.
I've read you did some sports psychology at McGill. Is the difference between being good and great that consistency, Coach?
Well, I always say the difference between good and great is your ability to grind. So that's your passion to stick to it and keep on going. And I really believe that's the difference between good players and superstars.
Right.
Superstars have just another level of heart and determination, and I think that's what happens on the good teams. Now, in saying all that, you need a huge amount of depth in all positions. You got to be great in goal and all that. But I like the way we're set up. I really do. But I think we got a ton of players that can get a lot better. Janssen is suddenly getting heavier. Kapanen is taking unbelievable steps. Nylander's not even up to speed yet. Matthews has just got going. When you go through our group, Dermott's just a young demon. We got lots of young players that are finding their way. Even Mitch and Matty, for that matter, are just finding their way in the league. They're just going to continue to get better as the year goes on.
Mike, going through the last couple of games, I was talking to a fairly diehard Leaf fan yesterday, who was obviously excited about the way the last couple of games went. But I said to him, I'm like, but I don't know what Coach Babcock and the staff learns from the last couple of games. It just looked too easy. What do you pull away? Well, don't get me wrong, a win is a win. But what do you personally learn from the last couple of games?
Well, I don't know if a win's a win. That's not how I look at it. I look on a process. I look at how we play. When we lost in Tampa, I was disappointed with the loss. I was disappointed with a couple minutes in the game, but I was ecstatic about the pace we could play at and how hard we could play. And then when you go into these other games, you want the same thing. You want to come out and establish your game first. You want to get after the other team. You want to have more depth, more speed, more talent, and then more desire, and you want it to show. And the night that doesn't, that's when you're disappointed. On the night that doesn't, you don't win. Move on.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's interesting to me because, and I know that this is part of your equation, or at least I believe this is part of your equation. You tell me if I'm wrong, but you like guys to earn their spot. But do you believe that you might have to do something special to get William Nylander going?
Well, look, I mean, I'm playing him on the power play. I'm playing him with good center. I think what's going to happen to Willie is anytime you've missed as much time, it's going to take more time than you'd like. Now, you know, we talked last night, go to the net, let one hit you in the butt and go in, and the next thing you know, you loosen up. You saw our power play last night, but we hadn't scored in a while. We were tight.
Yeah.
We went into Tampa, we dominated on the power play, hit the post 3 times in the game, didn't score, and then suddenly we tightened up, and then we didn't score for a bit. As soon as we got the first one, suddenly we could see everything way better. We could move the puck way better. We looked quicker. I think the same will happen for Willie, but I don't think that's right away. I think he's a ways away. The league's that fast. The league's that good. That's why you have training camp. That's why you start the season. That's why the season gets better and better as it goes on. The players are that good. It's that hard. So, to be fair to the kid, I think he's a ways away, and he's just got to keep working.
When you say a ways away, and I know, Mike, you don't want to get caught into anything specific here because the Toronto media has a long memory. But
I got it.
When you say a ways away, are you talking realistically March? Like, is that fair to the kid?
No, 2 weeks. He's got another 2 full weeks though of grinding, and you got to win battles, and you got to the stick-to-itiveness on a shift to score a goal is you got to check it back 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times. Well, you got to be fit to do that, and it doesn't matter how much you trained, how much you worked. You weren't training with NHL players every day. You weren't getting bumped and banged around. It's a totally different thing. In the open ice, they have skill. In the one-on-one battles, their legs give out right away. No different than a guy coming back from injury.
Okay. Mike, I want to ask you this week about parents speaking to the media. And Mitch Marner's dad did a couple of interviews with some major outlets. And I don't want to talk about specifically what he said, but in general, would you prefer that not happen, with the risk being some things could filter in the room and it could get awkward?
Well, this is the way I look at all this stuff, is I can't control any of that stuff, so I'm going to spend no time worrying about it. I can't even control what my own kids say. Like the bottom line is, it's real simple for me, is we have a family in our dressing room that's as good of people, players, and having as much fun as any group I've ever been around. We got real good chemistry, we got real good leadership, and we're on the right track. When we're going to get where we want to go, I can't tell you that. I know we're on the right track. All the rest of the stuff is just noise.
Is that different than it used to be, Coach?
Oh, night and day different. Yeah. I mean, it's a different program. I mean, we just knew when we got here that most of the players were leaving. So you don't even invest in that the same way. You just help each guy try to get better. This atmosphere we have now, the accountability we have, the fun we have, the entertainment going on each and every day, the ball busting, whatever you want to call it, is great.
Coach, one of the things I really enjoy doing is studying sports and all sports and trying to figure out what works. And I know that you won a cup in Detroit and had some pretty good runs in Detroit with teams that didn't have the classic definition of toughness. Now, you had tough guys, but no enforcers, and you won. We have had some chats on this show that your team needs more toughness and that you need to do a better job protecting your stars. What do you think when you hear stuff like that?
Well, the year we won the Cup in Detroit, we had a guy named Aaron Downey, we had McCarty, we had Dallas Drake. And so we had toughness beyond belief, to tell you the truth. In saying all that, I think it's a real good process we're going through right now. The process of learning how to play heavy, the process of learning how to protect the puck. And saying all that, toughness in real good players is hard to find. Really hard to find, and usually you draft and you develop them, and you're real fortunate when you draft. You don't even know that's what you drafted. But in saying all that, it's not like anybody in the league is going to give you a guy like that.
Right.
So, I think everybody thinks there's a tree in Doobie's backyard, and he goes back there and he grabs a defenseman who's going to be a number one in the league, and he grabs a number one center. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. It's great to have a wish list. Heck, Christmas is coming. I have a wish list. Split it to the wife about a month ago. But, the reality is we're doing everything we can to develop our team from within. That's my job. That's the player's job. And then the better we play, the more pressure you put on management to help you. And ideally, if you have enough resources, they can help you out. In saying all that, though, there's just because you want to do something doesn't mean there's something good.
Right.
Finally, Coach, I don't know if you're a New Year's resolution guy. Mine lasted about a week. But if you were to have a New Year's resolution for your hockey team for 2019, what would it be?
Well, my biggest thing with our group, and I've already spoke to it, but I'll speak to it again, is the ability to understand how we have to play to be successful in the end. And then commit to doing that on a nightly basis. Now, when I say nightly basis, there's no way you can be 100% in the National Hockey League every night with the travel and the schedule we have. In saying that, the mental dig-in that you need is so important, and you have to learn to bring it, and you have to learn to bring it when you got no legs. I always think about the pitcher who walks up to the mound, he gets out there, and he doesn't have his stuff, but he's so mentally tough, he finds a way to win anyway by grinding. To me, that's playoff hockey.
They call that battling in baseball. You're talking about battling if you're a pitcher, you don't have your stuff?
You know, like when you battling in baseball, you go out and you sit on courtside the other night like I did, and you see Kawhi Leonard play, and you just see his demeanor and his stick-to-itiveness and his mental toughness. Like, to me, that's how you win in the end. And so you breathe that in your team, and in the end, you're going to be happy. And if you don't, you're not going to be happy. So that's our process. That's what we're trying to go through. We like the trajectory we're on. We're young yet in our group, and we understand that, but we think we're going the right way.
I know you have the back-to-backs, Rangers and the Wings, but hopefully you get some quality time over the holidays and get some Christmas time with the family. Thank you very much for stopping by and doing this with us.
No problem, guys. Hey, thanks for having me on, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Mike. There was Mike Babcock.